So, hello everybody, it's Heather from Artist Live. It is Monday the 6th of March. Just to give you a little bit heads up, I do have 2 children home from school today. It's midwinter break, so they have no school tomorrow yet also. So today we're going to do a piece based on the Our Mixed Media Moods. And I was trying to get the picture up on my iPad to show you as reference, and it's not working. So I think I do have Dee Dee is supposed to be moderating today, and here's Maxim. You say hi. Okay. Hi. Oh, talk normal. Okay, go play. So we will get going, and Olivia's here also. So hello, Karen. So I am going to flip the camera out. We are going to do a couple techniques as far as kind of new stuff. And okay, Olivia, you can say hi. Oh, she doesn't want to. So. Okay, oh, there she is. So, there's Olivia. She'll be my assistant today. Okay, so I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll get going. So, please bear with me. Oh, that is blurry. So, this is the project that we are going to recreate. I don't think we need it higher, honey.
I mean lower.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I can't get it lower.
You can't?
No. So we're going to do some fun stuff. So let me just tighten this up, make sure we don't lose it. Okay. So one of the things that we are going to do, in 2 weeks ago I talked about using stuff off the top shelf. Well, I got to turn my computer so I can see the chat. One of the things that I have is this amazing cast and resin that I have never ever really used. Well, Kat Kerr, who is an amazing artist, I've had the pleasure of working with some of her products and some of her stamps. She does a fabulous video on something that we're going to actually do today. So I'm going to link that video just because I want you guys, she does so many more techniques with this, but that's her video. Anyways, first of all, what we're going to do is we are going to work on this background effect here, and that is actually using this amazing cast and resin. So let me get that going. And you're going to get out those old embossing folders that we never ever use because, like I said, we're going to be using some old. We're going to try to use some of our stash up, but and actually I have to confess this is a new one. I just bought it. This is one of Seth After's. So I liked the background and I wanted to change it up a little bit. And I always get a couple extra folders out because we usually do have extra stuff. So and then I'll make sure that we are in the negative space with these. I grabbed 2. So this stuff works amazing. And if you watch her video, she does a lot of explanation with it. There's many different techniques, but you basically mix it a 1-to-1 ratio. And you don't ever mix it together until you're ready because it will, I'm going to just mix it up to that line. I use a Dixie cup. Actually, probably a little, well, I'll mix it up to that line. This does take about 10 minutes to set. So, we're going to just get it going, and then I'm actually going to set this aside because we're going to work on something else. We're going to work on the saran wrap. So this is how it comes, and then you're going to grab one of your tongue depressors or stir sticks. You're going to mix it together, and you're going to watch it kind of go cloudy. And then you guys will also see how unlevel my old farmhouse is that I live in. So see how it went cloudy. And basically what you're going to do is I have wax paper down just to protect it. You don't need to pre-treat these with anything. It comes right out. So you're just going to kind of pour it on here. And you just want to kind of spread it out a little bit. If you go too thin, it will, you'll have some spaces. What, honey?
Never mind.
What, honey? You gotta talk to me. Okay. So this is actually going to be our background that we use for our substrate that we're going to use. And I like the clocks. Olivia did one of these the other day and used the clocks, and I thought it was kind of cool. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to use the clocks today. Yes, the girl does use most of my stuff. So, and I'm actually going to just put this aside, and then we're going to work on another portion of the project. So, can you move this way so I can move it? You can, yeah, just kind of set it aside there.
Oopsies.
Okay. Sticky.
I'm sticky now.
You are sticky now? So, this is the actual piece that we're going to use. These come from That's Crafty, based out of the UK. And actually, this came in a 5-pack sampler pack. It comes in 2 parts. I've used these on a couple different projects, and they are quite fun. And yeah, and you can actually, they have bigger ones that are about this big, and different sizes and designs. It's pretty cool. So we're going to actually do the saran wrap portion now. The original piece was butterflies, which was based off that mood board. I don't have any more butterflies left, so I am going to use, I'm going to mix it up. So I did cut a circle for the background for the saran wrap. We're going to use angel wings, and then, of course, the little man from the Rising Spirit 3 from the Relics and Artifact. But we're going to do the saran wrap right now, is what we're going to do. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to get out my little piece here. I need this peanut. Protect our surface. Now, I don't know if anybody saw the video that I had done, but I basically used saran wrap to add texture to my background. And I took a chunk. Oh, my glue is behind my camera. And I just kind of shriveled it up. And I glued it on there, and then I heat set it. I got it, Peanut. Can you tell me I'm on camera? Oh, you gotta love kids. So, I just
asked if you could go to Charlie's house.
No, we're not going anywhere today. It's icky and rainy out.
Yeah.
So I just kind of bunched it up, so to speak, and glued it on there. And then we're going to take our heat gun and we're going to melt it. And you can kind of help shape it as you go, but it is melting plastic, so you can burn yourself. So I do recommend that you be very careful with it. And I just want to make sure that I cover up the cardboard, but also give it some good texture. And that is, where's my canvas from before? I think it's in the living room. And that's pretty much gives you that fun little extra texture there. So what I did to add color to the background is I just took some alcohol inks like that were the same color.
Excuse me?
Oh, yep. I'll just set it here for now. Thank you. And I chose some sailboat blue, some ginger, some caramel, and I know that the background is going to be primarily blue on this piece, so I don't want to use a lot of blue. I want the browns to kind of stick out a bit. And so I just sporadically put them in here, make sure I kind of get down in the holes. It's a very quick technique, really. I'm I'm trying to watch the chat here. Karen did an awesome video on the alcohol inks also. And it actually related to the mood board too. So if you guys want to check that out, if you haven't seen any of the mood boards that the projects we've done for Dee Dee's mood board, there's videos. They're all linked to YouTube.
Mama?
What, honey?
Is it fine if I go to Little Charlie's house? No, I'm not going
No,
anywhere.
you guys, what did I say? Please, please. Okay. So, do you guys see how the color is changing on these as they're drying? So, okay, and I'm just going to kind of heat set this a little bit just to get that kind of dry. Now, what am I missing? What, honey? I gotta be able to see. Okay.
I was wondering if I should.
No, just leave it. Okay. So there's that little centerpiece. So we're going to set that aside for now. We're going to take our... Where did the little body go? Right here. We're going to take our little man from our Relics and Artifact, and we're going to just add some medium to him and heat set him. Okay. And this is just the ice resin enamel medium. I'm just looking for a paintbrush here. Can you grab me a container to dump how we do our embossing powders?
Oh, yeah.
I love how she knows what I'm talking about. And it is kind of nice to have an assistant. She's a good assistant. I used saran wrap. So I'm using wax paper over here, and then I used saran wrap on the on this piece.
Mama, where did you put them last?
They should be in that. Oh, I need a paint palette too.
Okay, I've got a paint palette.
Okay. Where are they? Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
Hmm.
I might know where they are, though.
They're probably in the bathroom.
That was my desk.
We wash all of our stuff in the bathroom because I got a new sink in the kitchen. I got a new kitchen, and I won't let anything go in the sink. And the bathroom is very old, and so there's paint all over the sink in there, and yeah. So I don't care, especially with Olivia. She's always painting. So she's just getting me a tin for this.
Zero zilch.
Zero zilch? You've got to be kidding me. Oh, goodness. Okay, well, I'll just do it this way, and not that I wanted to, but... And then we're going to heat set this. These do take a little bit longer to heat set, only because you have to get the relic heated up to the point where it will get it to melt.
Would you like me to do that?
No, but thank you.
I did that last time.
I know you did it last time, but you can put the cover on this.
Okay. Where's the cover?
So we're just going to get this melted.
Okay.
So hopefully you guys can hear me. okay, we don't have much other to do with the heat gun here, so we're just going to get that melted nice and good. And these will be very hot. So I usually just set it aside and set it aside. I don't want to touch it. Which is perfectly fine because we are ready for this fun portion. So as these, let me move. As these start to harden, they actually will get very, very, very hard. And you just peel it right off, just like that. And they're at the point where they're still sticky, where they will kind of stick upon themselves if you're not careful. So look at how cool that is. Isn't that cool? Look at that texture. Here, let me get the other one off. Just to get it off, just to show you guys how easy these come off here. And the thinner you are, like this one's a little bit thin, you can see if you got it too thin how you would have the negative space and such would be gone. But yeah, so that would be cool for a background of something on a, so very cool. Okay. But we're gonna use this one. So can you set that over on that table there, please?
Yep.
These are very workable. For the first part, they're very workable, and as they start to get hard, they get very hard. You can still cut them, but they're easier this way. And actually what I did just to adhere this is I took some glue and just glued it right on the substrate. You want to hand me a scalpel, please?
With the scalpel again?
The green handle.
This?
Yeah, no, the knife.
This one.
And I don't worry about the glue that you can see because I'm actually going to paint it quick. Sorry, I don't know why my autofocus is being a pain. And then you can cut it with the scissors. It's actually quite easy. I'm just going to, because I want to get nice and close, just use a scalpel. And this is why it's still fairly fresh. So I have cut them with a scalpel when they're very hard, and it's more of a pain. So that is that portion. And then we are also going to do the bottom. Thank you, Karen. It is actually a really unique product because there are so many things that you can do with it. And Kat Kerr actually, she is a like a designer, or I'm not sure exactly her, kind of like on their design team, so to speak, if that's what they call it. And she did that fabulous video, Artist Live from Creativations, and showed all those techniques. She's also going to be on, if you are stateside, PBS is a channel that we have, and it's called, oh, let me cut this before I cut my fingers. Yeah, I gotta concentrate on this one. I just don't want to cut my fingers. MakeItArtsy.com is the actual website, and there is a program on PBS that they feature artists from basically all over. Well, Kat will be demoing I need the pointy scalpel.
Okay.
She will be demoing this product, I think at the end of the month. March 28th, I think, is her first one. And she actually has a series of 3 broadcasts she's going to be doing. And I don't know, Karen, if you want to write that down, if you're moderating for me, makeitartsy.com. And it's a weekly program, and I know Seth After's been on there. Kind of cool. So I think that's going to be her first television debut. But these are the products that she's going to be doing in her 3-piece series. And she really is a pro when it comes to this stuff. She just told me to get it off the top shelf, which brings me back to using using old stuff with your new stuff. So I got to make sure my holes are big enough. Oh, perfect. How cool is that? Very cool. Well, no, Karen, I used glue. There's no stickiness to it. Once it's dried. Once it kind of firms up, it loses that clinginess, so to speak. But yeah, like this is one I had done. I was playing around with it. And so these are some of them I've done. Now she has techniques that you can add glitter to it. You can add alcohol inks to it. You can change up the color. It's paintable. All kinds of stuff. And actually, we're gonna paint right on this to give our background. So, not that y'all want to watch me paint, but this project is a fun, easy project, and I talk fast when I get nervous, and so my shows usually don't last very long. But we're going to use a variety of paints. Well, not that many. We're going to use some blues, and I have some Prussian blue hue, which is the darker blue. And basically, I started out to kind of match the mood board. I make sure it's shook up. And this is the Deco Art Fluid Acrylics. I love this stuff. Thank you, Karen, for writing that Make It Artsy. That's just I can't remember if I gessoed it. I might have gessoed it beforehand. Did I? I think I did. Well, let me gesso it real quick. Where's my wipe? Right there.
Oh my.
Oh my. Oh my what? It's not going to take me long. Yeah, I gessoed it first, which is fine.
There's kind of a difference.
There is a difference, honey. So, but it's a fun technique. I had this stuff sitting in my closet for about probably over 2 years I've had it sitting in my closet. I didn't even know if it was still going to be good. And then Kat was like, oh, Heather, you just have to use it. So I dug it out, and after seeing her and how easy it was to play in so many different things you could do with it, it was like, oh, I got to dig that out. That is just way too cool. So I dug it out, and I've been playing, and Olivia's been playing, and I've actually made a couple pieces that will be showcased sometime with it. Trying to think if I can't show anybody any of them other than this one. So, and I did paint the back because it is a 3-dimensional piece, and in case it's sitting on a shelf somewhere or on a... So, oops, it's a scrap. So, and I could save this and use this for another piece. So I'm going to just heat set this a little bit to dry it. Thank you. So, are you Karen? Well, I've made, and I know there's so much more you can do with the product. I just, I haven't really played around with it all that much. I think I've done, I don't know, probably about 8 to 10 embossing folders, and I've only used, and seriously, a little bit goes a long way. So I have over half the bottle left, if that gives you some type of an idea of how many like embossing folders you can do. Can you hand me my tea, please?
Oh, yeah.
So, okay. And let me link that video again of Kat, if anybody wants to copy it down, and her Facebook Live. So that's the video from the Facebook Live. That's the only thing I don't like about Facebook Lives is you have to search to find the video. Once it's kind of over and done, you have to kind of dig for it. So, well, let's get painting here so we can paint this puppy and put it all together. So, I'm going to start with the lighter color of the cerulean blue. Basically, just do a base coat on it of this, just to give it that color from the mood board. And Dee was supposed to be here. I don't see her here yet, but if you hadn't had a chance to play along with the mood board, or if you're not part of the group on our mixed media moods, check it out. And David, did you get your package yet? That's a question. I don't know if he's still here. I'll do the back later. Are you heating your tea back up?
Yes.
It's cold and gloomy here today, and so the kids are drinking tea. Yeah. I don't really like how far away this video is. I hope it's okay for everybody. I do have a very splendid helper. Well, it's funny because on Mondays she paints and I usually moderate for her. So I'm usually getting her stuff and running to get her tea and doing all kinds of things for her. So it's nice to have her help me. So I'm just going to quick dry this here. Okay, well, David, it doesn't let me track it. I sent it, oh gosh, over a week ago. Well, I do have to apologize, David. My grandma was in the hospital twice, and me and the kids were sick, and so it's been kind of a rough last month here. So we're going to use the Prussian blue hue now and just give it a little bit of some dry brushing, because I love my dry brushing.
This was cerulean blue.
I'm using Prussian blue hue. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know Joanne got hers, so yours should be hopefully soon. I don't know how long it takes to get there. So, and dry brushing, I'm sure you all put a little bit on, take a lot of it off, and you just want to get like the high points. And I'll post some close-ups of these once we get back into after the class onto the Artist Live page, so you can see the actual finished project. Not that you guys want to watch me paint, because I'm not a very good painter. This girl's not a decorative painter by any means, so. And then I'll also do the. Too bad we can't link a picture of the mood board to show you all the.
This is my second
There has been
copy.
some fabulous entries in that mood board.
This is my second copy.
So I'm just kind of bringing it from the outside in, just to darken those edges. Oh, that's kind of a really cool background. I'm liking it. Really liking it. It was a great mood board. Okay. How stinking cool is that?
I like it.
I like it too. Brush and stencil cleaner. I'm going to use this brush again, but I don't like to let them really get too. Okay, so we're going to take our wonderful little saran wrap. There's the Facebook group. And I'm basically just going to glue it right on down. I'm going to highlight some more with some white once we're all done. I didn't like the brightness of the, how bright it was, so I did do some dry brushing with white. I'm curious on what that says now in the chat. All I see is my name. So I'm going to take some just white gesso and do some dry brushing on the saran wrap. Just to soften that up a bit. And if you don't ever like something, add some gesso, and that usually does help. Okay. Okay. Oh, fix that.
What do you mean?
So we're going to take our wingspan, our Dresden trim from Relics and Artifacts, and we're going to glue that down. We're also going to do some dirty wash on it, and that's some more painting, which is just, it's very, very easy. And we're going to take our little man and we're going to go right on top. Where's my glue? Okay. Just going to hold that down for a second.
Since when did you get 2 of these?
Since I was at Creativations. I'll kind of put that so you guys can see. It's kind of being a... So I could have put something around the edge here, but I didn't. I think I'm okay with that though. I can always rip it apart. You're learning Polish, Karen? Okay, then you need to tell me. Oh, is it? Yes, it's acrylic. It's fluid acrylic. So it's very highly pigmented, and it's a lot thinner, but it's so highly pigmented. And that's the nice thing about it. I don't know Polish. I'm slowly learning Norwegian. I get taught about 1 or 2 words a day. So there's that. We're going to work on our base now.
Or if you don't like it, you could just throw it away.
Yeah, I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to like it. So on our base, I did put some claw feet. Now these are, a couple of the companies that I would get my metal embellishments from actually went out of business. So I haven't found a new one. What I'm using is the Super Glue Loctite, and that is basically a super glue. It gives you a little time to work with it. It's more of a gel consistency, and I don't know. It's not runny, so that's why I like it. I've currently been trying out different types of glues for projects like this. I did find one I kind of liked. It's from Beacons. I could have tried using that, but I didn't want to on air because I didn't want to end up making a mess.
One question.
Oh, that's Kim. Hi, Kim. How are you? Oh, well, that's okay. We're having fun here.
One question, Mama.
Yes.
When you were cutting those brushes earlier, was that for this?
Yes, it was for this.
Figure.
I was cutting brushes on a cutting board, and Olivia thought I was nuts. So that's okay. Which our brushes are right here that I cut.
Are they even?
So we're just going to let this dry for a second. We're going to cover up some of that with some Dresden trim. And then we're going to basically put it together. I should put something around the edge here, but I'm not sure what. When I take pictures, there might be extra there. So maybe. I'm going to use the silver, but we're also going to do a dirty wash on it. So hello, Kim. I'm so happy you could stop. So where's my scissors? There it is. I have a little helper today. She's off of school. They have midwinter break.
Mm-hmm.
So she's helping. And she's kind of excited. She just got her tickets were bought for the England trip. So she's very excited about that. I'm just going to eyeball this, line it up and cut it. And then we'll glue it on. How's my time looking? My time's looking good, so.
37 minutes and 32 seconds.
So this kind of covers up that, not that it's ugly, but the ugliness of the border. It's all in the eyes of the beholder, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Yasmin was supposed to be here today, but she had a meeting she had to go to, so she wasn't sure if she'd quite make it. And I'll do all of the sides on that. So how cool will that be after a dirty wash? Okay. So let's just do the dirty wash, get it done with so I can put this together. We're going to use 3 colors, which I'm missing my transparent oxide. Okay, so quinacridone gold, burnt umber, and, not burnt umber, Payne's gray. Where is the transparent yellow? So basically a dirty wash is exactly what it sounds like. It makes it look like a brown. Okay, I got kids that are talking loud right now. Sometimes I think they forget. I don't know Polish, but it'd be interesting to learn. It
would.
Yeah, but Karen, I think you would do fine because you have so many languages that you already know. You're fluent. Where's my spray bottle?
A spray bottle?
Oh. So this is just making the dirty wash. Lots of water. Payne's Gray, quinacridone gold, and transparent yellow oxide.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes a brown. And if you water it down really good, it's just going to do a light coating of it. See how that is?
That looks cool.
And I got a little bit too much water. Right there. And I am going to do the back side of these wings just in case anybody can see them. There. And then I will do that to all of the Dresden trim also. Just a quick light coat. How cool is that?
I noticed something, Mama. I'm just saying, you put Dresden trim in there.
I know, honey. I have so much time, so that's, if I have time, I'll do it. So we'll let that dry. We're going to do a little trim on the top. We're going to take our paint brushes, quick paint those, and put them together. And these are the ones I cut in the kitchen, on the cutting board with the knife, that she thought I was crazy.
It is crazy cutting.
I'm not doing anything too special with these. I think I had some twine I'm going to wrap around it. Oh, thanks, Maria. Maria, weren't you watching Tracy? She did a morning show today. So, have you been up to Cambridge lately? Stop, Maxim, please. You're being a stinker. So, I just have some twine here. Oh, you were watching Tracy? Yeah, she, I was expecting her to show tonight, and then she broadcast early. I have a little boy who's sneaking his little hand in. The pleasures of kids. I'm just winding this up here. And then doing a little dab of glue. Shh. Play. It sounds like a herd of elephants, and it's not. It's one little boy. It's amazing how much oh yes, I can I don't know, are we friends on Facebook? Otherwise I can send you info. We just actually got our tickets today for Dare to Create. So Di sent me the email, and so I just got them all paid for. So that'll be exciting. Okay. We're about to do all of the little finishing touches here. It's the angel of art, I would say. So we're going to do some I got to get it to fit in there again. I added paint. There we go. Okay, so I will try to, I'll put it back on its side in just a second. Let me just get these glued in. And I'm just actually gluing them right on the side of the crafty board. That's crafty board. And the nice thing about the dirty wash is because you add so much water, you don't have to rush and oh, he's playing a game. And I'm going to put some Dresden trim right across the top here to give it a little bit more. Except for it fell on the ground. So yeah, they are paintbrushes I took from the mood board and used it that way. Oop. I got my glue is exploding here. I love this trim because you can use it pretty much almost anywhere, and it just adds a little bit of extra detail instead of leaving it blank. And I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to put some Dresden trim around here. I just don't like how it just ends. And then I'm going to add some more dirty wash to that to add a little bit more color, or just to match it up a little bit. I don't know if you all can see that. Sometimes working with this so it's a very well, we could actually put like a banner or something across the top here. Let me see. I know I have something real close at hand, but let me see what I can do here quick. Oh, let me see. Paper Whimsy. Oh, that could be fun. So paperwhimsy.com has all kinds of, they're another substrate. They make the very thick wood. We could actually do a little stamp of something and put on there. So who knows what the picture is going to show up like. We'll see. Okay. So that's going to be probably, I'll do that maybe off camera. But one other thing that I did do is I did add some gesso along the edges just to soften it up because it is pretty bold looking. And that's dry brushing again with that. And I hope that you all enjoyed this and you know, we try to show you guys new things, new techniques, although, you know, sometimes it's hard to come up with something new. So maybe we're just gonna, you know, we revisit older techniques that, you know, we haven't seen in a while, and, you know, make some fun and have some good chat along the way. So I'm just going to add a little bit more down there, and I'll add more Dresden trim on the side there, and then I'll actually paint the background. But so there is the today's version. I might end up putting something up there like that with a little maybe a little stamp of some sort. The Angel of, oh, I like that, Karen. Art Michelangelo. Let me see. Oh, I do have actually one of Cat Kerr's stamps available here. Let's do this real quick. Okay, let's see how much I can work under the fly here. Okay. We're gonna do something real quick. What color should I paint it? I need suggestions right there while I get this. So I'm going to take one of Cat's stamps, Dreamers Only. I'm going to grab an ink pad. I got, how much time do I have? Oh, 9 minutes. I'm good. I can't open my ink pad. We're going to take some tissue paper. I'll move this out of the way here. I'll move that up. Tissue paper, Cat stamps. It says Dreamers Only. Stamp it on some tissue paper. Oh, perfect. Look at that. We're going to paint this real quick. I think I'm going to go... I honestly think I'm going to go with some cerulean blue hue and some tinting base to lighten it up. Tinting base. Okay, now we're just going to figure something out. How fun is this? Tinting base. So tinting base is just a kind of lightens it up. I don't want a real dark because I want to be able to see the stamp, but I want to do a blue. Maybe not that light, but okay. We're going to cut this out and grab some matte medium. One of the reasons I like the tissue paper is you can get very close to the writing and you can actually manipulate the tissue paper so it kind of curves. With a stamp, that would be very difficult to do. Okay, we're just going to put some matte medium down here. I'll put matte medium over the top in just a second. Okay, Dreamers Only. I'm going to do a little dry brushing. Dry brush a little bit on the edges. Oh, how cool is that? Let me just glue it down. I want to thank Karen for moderating today. Oh, I got 5 minutes to spare. Very cool. So, here was the original piece. I did a lot of I used a liner brush. I couldn't think for a second to add the details on the center there. We chose to use a different relic today for today's show, and this was just some, but it still had the technique with the saran wrap, and then the background technique, we got to go through that. So, and again, check out Kat's videos, and then she's also on the TV show Make It Artsy on PBS at the end of the month, which she'll showcase a lot of these products. So there it is. Let me flip the camera around, and then I will a couple little bit more announcements. Whoa! So a couple more announcements. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Maria, for coming. Happy to see you, Kim. And so a couple announcements then. I'll take pictures of these so you guys can actually get a better view of them, and I'll post it to the Artist Live page. Dee Dee is going to be up next week, and she's going to also be doing a project based on our Mixed Media Moods, the board. And if you haven't joined the group, please join the group. And I know Karen had linked that. Otherwise, I want to thank you all for coming, and we will all see you next week. So thank you. I'm actually going to stop recording, and so I'll be here for a couple more minutes. So thanks, Kim. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Okay. I'm going to hit stop record. And sorry about the kids. They can be loud.